Unbeweaveable. Unbeweaveable.
Excellent strength and perfect clarity is the 5x5.
It's Real Talk with David and Nikki. Stay tuned for hot topics, gossip, and a little shade on the 5x5.
Unbeweaveable. So there's a pastor in Waco, Texas, and let me get you his name. His name is Amir, and his church is in Waco, Texas. His church is named Resurrecting Faith, and he is actually banning weaves in his church. He's banning women that have weaves in his church. So, okay, here's what he says, and I quote, "Our black women are getting weaves, trying to be something and someone they are not. Be real with yourself is all I'm saying." So I kind of understand where he's going with this and how you should be yourself, and, you know, you're pretty no matter how you look, and the hair doesn't make you. Yeah, I get that, but he's going the wrong way about it, I think. And so what he's going on then to say is that you shouldn't spend money on a $300 to $500 weave in your head when you don't have food to eat at the home, or, you know, you're going broke trying to get clothes on your back or what have you. And so I can kind of get that, but he's going about it in the wrong way, I think. So that's his message. And so he's
how's he going to ban him?
In the church.
So how's he going to ban him?
I guess there's going to be a weave detector right at the entry door. I don't know.
Here's my thing is, you're the pastor, so you're going to, maybe when they're doing the collection plate and they're going around front, because like at my church, they used to be they would pass the collection plate down the pew for everybody to put their money in, but now you have to walk up in front of the church and put your money. So he must have the weave detector there, and he's going to check for a track and back of your head to make sure you don't have no weave in.
Yeah, he's going to feel for tracks. Really? Just mess. And that brings me to my number 8 on that top 10 list. It's not even a question. Don't go filling on people's heads. Don't do that.
Okay.
Black and white mistakenly have the bad habit of filling on your head. Black people will say, "Let me see if you got good hair," and they'll try to fill on. White people ask, "Well, can I feel it?" And sometimes they'll ask you, or sometimes they just go right in.
Yeah, well, you know, some white people, and I'm not dissing white people by any means, but remember it used to be, this is what my mom told me and my dad told me, she said, "Don't let anybody rub on your head," because they would come over there, rub on a black person's head for good luck. What's that mean? Don't touch me, and don't touch my child. You know, and so I was always brought with them that don't let them do that to you. That's disrespectful. You know, so don't let touching people's hair. I've seen some black girls, like a good friend of mine in Atlanta. They would some girls would come up because she went natural, but she used that. What's the product that they use? Carol's Daughter. She did that Carol's Daughter. That she went through that to get her hair from being processed all the way to being natural, but it was naturally straight. It wasn't processed, and so people didn't believe her. So they would be slick and they would go say hi, but they'd grab some of her hair, and she was like, "Don't be doing that to me. I know what you're doing." You know, black girls have it bad.
Yeah.
You know, with this old fake hair stuff. You know, my thing is Wendy Williams. She's the queen of the wig. She will tell you real quick. Nobody will ever see my real hair. I'm a wiggy. She has a wig head named Shaquifa, or something like that. She doesn't play. Which thing is, if you wear a wig, own it. You know, but what the problem I have with people with wigs and these lace fronts, because you know, if you're gonna have a lace front, buy the expensive one. Don't buy the cheap one, because the cheap ones look just like that. They look cheap. But own it. I don't care. Let's own it. But don't try to floss in front like you have. That is your real hair when it's not. Anyhow, what was your number? What was your number 9?
That's my number 9. Don't ask me if it's my real hair, because it may be hair that I've bought that is real Indian hair. But you don't need to know all those details. Once again, I'm not going to do all those details.
You know what you should say when you know what you should say when they ask you if it's your real hair? You need to say, "Well, it's really paid for," and call it a day.
Or real human hair, and just leave it at that. Yeah, because sometimes it is real human hair. And so my number 10 is, if you see me with long hair and the next day I have really short hair, which is probably my real hair, don't ask me if I cut my hair. You don't need to know.
Okay. Yeah, yes. Well, you
I
start
just took
saying,
out my wig, or took off my wig.
it's like you see my twin sister yesterday. She has the long locks. My name is Nicoletta. You know, tell us up now. They don't need to know. But it's funny, but because the thing is, we're uptight. You know, I think non-black people are curious about hairstyles and textures and things like that, but in our race, black people, we're uptight. There's, you know, the girls are uptight if one female has longer hair or a better style or a better weave or, you know, whatever. And I think it's one of those two-way streets. Sometimes it's admiration, but sometimes it's envy. And it's a very narrow line that you walk on both of those with dealing with black people's hair. And we'd like to welcome Tower Painter into the chat room. Thanks for listening in, Tower. We appreciate you. He says, although he knows nothing about what you're all talking about, the young lady that lives next to him was apparently trying to straighten her hair with the perm solution and left it in too long and burnt. Yes, that will happen. If
it
you
will happen,
those,
yeah.
Because our perm, is that still lye? Do they still use lye? Is that what it is? LYE. Lye. They still use that?
As far as I know, but I believe what Tower Painter is talking about is a store-bought perm, and a lot of people do that. But the thing about that is, when you're not going to a professional, you really aren't trained as a professional would be trained, so you're kind of reading the box and doing what the box says, and there is so much that you really kind of need to know before you do a perm, any kind of chemical or color. There's do's and don'ts that you might not know, but a trained professional will.
Thing is, I've seen a lot of kitchen perms done that turned out really good. My cousin, well, she's a licensed beautician, but before she became a beautician, she did a lot of kitchen perms, and they look good. Then you know what I think is very people don't know their strengths. There's a young lady that I know and a couple other ones that they braid phenomenally. They braid their dude's hair or people's hair, because my niece has had her hair braided several times, and the work that they do, the geometrics that I'm like, how do you do that? I can barely plait, you know, and I'm like, God, know your strength. This is something you should do. You should market. You should train, you know, but some people just don't want to take the time to get that training. Anyhow, thank you, darling Nikki, for our top 10 on what not to say to a black woman about her hair. But what I was on Lee Bailey's Euroweb.com electronic web report earlier today, and this is what some black males are saying about their black females' hair. Number 1, don't go all Kool-Aid crazy
with the wild colors, like
with the
hot
colors.
pink and some hot orange.
Exactly. And he's like, don't try to floss. The number 2 was, don't try to floss with these lace fronts and then I guess some of them have baby hair on them, so they look more natural. He said, we know you don't have baby hair. You didn't have baby hair last week, and it didn't grow. He said, so black men are not liking the lace fronts that try to give the illusion of being real. It's not that they have one, because they're loving the hair. Don't get me wrong. They don't like the illusion of having it's being real, but when it's really
so if
fake.
I'm 40 years old, do I still have baby hair?
No.
And that's, well, here's what baby hair is. For those of you that don't know, baby hair is when your edges are straight, and that's your natural hair that kind of curls up around your scalp. So that's your baby hair, is that kind of, it's kinky, but it's fine curled hair that kind of curls up at your scalp, your own hair, your edges. So that's baby hair, but it actually lies down and it's actually straight. So that's what they're talking about, baby hair.
Oh, so I can say I have baby hair on my goatee because it's straight.
I never heard of it in that context before.
Because the thing is, and I'm going to get off subject really quick. This is for my fellas again. With goatees, and I haven't, every once in a while I'll go to a barber to have it lined up and trimmed up and get it to where I can follow it. But I've been cutting my own hair since, probably since 99, well, longer than that, probably since 92. But then before that, my friends, we all cut our hair. But the only rule in my house, my mom's like, you don't get any names cut into your head. You can have a couple lines, you might even have a part, but I don't want those designs, and I don't want your name in the back of your head. So, my mother, she wasn't going for that.
Daisy.
Okay. I wish I would have. She would have knocked me out. And and so she wouldn't allow it. And but like I said, so now I focus more on my goatee. Since I have no hair, I focus more on my goatee, and I try to keep it lined up until now I have it trained to where I keep it brushed pretty good. And so you see some of my pictures, and I'll say this is a good goatee day because it's kind of good. So that's my focus. Since I wish I could have wore locks. I kind of dated somebody one time, and here's the thing with dreadlocks. I don't know if you ever known anybody with dreadlocks or dated anybody with dreadlocks. They have to be washed. They have to be washed because the person I dated, his dreadlocks smelled. And ultimately, that's what turned me off. I'm like, I'm not doing that with you. That's nasty to me. But you have to keep it. But I wish I had locks at one time. I did have that Jerry curl with the activator. Remember the activator you used to spray in your hair to keep it curly? You never had one, did you? Did you have a Jerry curl?
No, I never had a curl, and because I don't really go with the trends, so I never had a curl. But I do want to say, luckily, I go to a hairdresser who does not just do my hair. She actually specializes in the science of hair. So she is skilled at natural hair and as well as perm hair and how to put chemicals on. But she really knows natural hair and how to work with it and the science of hair. So, she can automatically look at my hair and tell if I haven't been keeping it up and maintaining it the way I need to, or like if I work out without wrapping it up like I should, or if I'm putting it in a ponytail. She knows all that without even asking me. She's like, okay, you haven't been taking care of your hair, so.
Well, there's some really phenomenal hairdressers out there, and that's where there's a lot of money for black hair. When you think about all the Asian-owned stores that cater to the black clientele, because there's so much money with the shop that my mother goes to. It's Asian-owned, and the clientele is all black, and they have everything. Every perm. I actually get stuff there for my scalp. I do, because I have a bald look. I do get stuff to keep my scalp moisturized. And then it goes in your goatee. It's really good stuff. I think it's made by the same people who make sporting waves, but that's beside the point. So, there's a lot of money in black hair care. Well, let's break real quick. I'm going to play our song one more time before we get off here, but we got some more things to talk about, and we'll be right back, guys. Give us 1 minute.
Check us out on Facebook at The 5x5 or tweet us at the 5x5 or go to Recycle Blog Talk for past shows. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, we're back. There is actually a question. Do you see the question in the chat room?
Yeah, about the economics of black hair from a manufacturing standpoint.
You gonna take that one?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Hair is a big industry. Actually, I posted a picture I have where I tried on a wig. So, and there is a wig manufacturer that one of my friends is involved with, and she actually sells wigs. So, from wigs, from process hair, weaves, selling the chemicals for hair, it's a big business. Color, like I said, chemicals, and one of the movies that kind of illustrated how big the business is Chris Rock's Hair movie, and that came out, I believe, in 2009, and it was a really good movie that kind of illustrated how the hair industry works and how it got started. So yeah, it's a big business, and it's always thriving. I mean, people always want to take care of their hair and you know, do their hair properly. And I mean, this is any kind of race, you know, any male or female, you know. But I want to share this quote by Madam C.J. Walker. And we talked about her earlier. She was a businesswoman who thrived from Delta, Louisiana, and then lived in Indianapolis, Indiana. But here's a quote from her, speaking of the business. And it says, "I want the great masses of my people to take greater pride in their personal appearance and give their hair proper attention." She was one that made big-time money because she suffered problems with her hair, so she actually created products for black hair. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, it is, and like I said, and it's not going to change when. I think it's because they said, from what I understand from the show Good Hair, that the Asians or the third world countries that manufacture the black hair care products, they will not sell to black businesses. They sell to their own businesses, so they can sell to the black hair care market. I think there was somebody in the chat room, Pianki, I guess. The name is, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. He says, manufactured in a West African country, which, yeah, and importing back into the black markets. We have a call real quick. We have about 9 minutes left. So we'll take this call. Maybe.
Soul's not lighting.
214.
Hi, it's me.
Hey, Icon.
Hi,
What's going on?
First of all, I missed part of your show, the second part. So did you talk about the pastor thing yet or not?
Yeah, she
in Waco?
did.
Okay, well, I just wanted to see what you thought about the fact that, do you think that black women, really mostly applies to black women who wear extensions or weaves, that has anything to do with their self-esteem? I don't. Or do you?
I think it's a form of expression. I don't think it has self-esteem. I think for some people it may, because the stigma of short hair from going in the 80s, if you were a bald-headed black girl or a short, you got ostracized and talked about. That's not maybe some of them, but I think now it's just a form of expression.
Well, yeah, but what if, I thought it was a double standard, because if you're a black woman can wear, if a black woman wears a weave, for example, and she has naturally curly hair and she wears a straight weave, does that mean she wants to be Caucasian? Just because, for example, if a Caucasian woman who has naturally curly hair does the same thing, does that make she wants to be, I don't know, whatever? You know what I mean? Why is there a double standard about it?
I think people have different interests. Now, for me, I know I wear a weave sometimes just for manageability,
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that I have to, take so much care, put so much care into it that I normally would with my natural hair, So in the mornings I can kind of just get up and go. So it's more of a manageability, convenience thing, for me, But yeah, I don't think that it really has to do too much with self-esteem. Now, I think what that pastor is saying, though, is women are going to an extreme of putting all that money in their hair, and they're not having
they can't pay the car payment
or what have you. Yeah. And so where self-esteem maybe comes to play is that if someone tells you, hey, you need to have long hair like this model, or you need to have long hair like this, and you're not really knowing who you are or knowing what you want to do, that might not be for you,
Right.
So the Mariah Carey look or the Beyonce look or the Nicki Minaj look may not be for you, and it's about knowing yourself and realizing that, and not letting anyone tell you what you have to do or what, or what you should do. One thing that really, really drove me crazy, and I was about to hurt somebody over this, was the Olympics last year, and they talked about Gabby so bad. And she was just a little girl.
Oh.
But
yeah, I know who she is. She won.
The Olympic,
I really was hurt by that, as if she was my own daughter. Because
I heard, what did they say specifically about her? I know who she is, but what did they say about her?
They said her hair was nappy.
They ripped her to pieces.
Yes. It was Black America, though. It was Black America that did that to her. It wasn't white folks. It was Black
about
people.
Black America. Yeah,
they did that
all
to her.
about Black America that did it. And she, of course she had the headband on. She threw her hair back in a ponytail or what have you, because she's practicing.
She's a freaking Olympian.
I know, exactly. She's winning gold medals.
They said the same thing about Venus and Serena. And then if you remember, not too long ago, Don Imus said that about the Rutgers basketball team.
Oh, I remember that.
Them all nappy-headed hoes. So, there's still a stigma for Black people and the way our hair looks. And it's another way to oppress and make fun. And because they call Venus and Serena, they call them gorillas. Because remember when they first came on the scene, they were wearing beads, and then this was white people. They were talking. The beads are going all over the court. The beads are clacking. Is ruining my concentration. They dealt with that, but they have some questionable hairstyles. But I think Serena's hair is out there now. But I think they look good, and like I said, it's a form of expression.
Go ahead.
In the chat room, somebody says Olympian sprinter Florence Griffin Joyner ran with her natural long flowing hair. I don't know if that was real.
I think it was. It was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah. FloJo was
before weeds really took off.
Yeah, 1987. No, one of my girlfriends had the little weed that went in the very, very back, and you see the track hanging down.
The fall.
The fall. Yeah, she had one of those. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add?
I wanted to say, the point I was trying to make earlier, real quick, is, to me, it seems like when it comes to Black people's hair, there's a double standard, because for some reason, if you want to change your hair, there are black people who have natural hair, people who have naturally wavy hair, curly hair. Some black people have straighter hair even naturally, and there's some who want to put color in their hair, some who want to straighten it, who want to leave it natural. What difference does it make, and what does it have to do with anything about your self-esteem? Else. Whereas if someone of a different race, Caucasian or Hispanic or otherwise, changes the color of their hair, does it mean a person who has dark hair who changes the color to blonde wants to be Swedish? No. It's just
no, not
so
at
that's
all.
what you see what I mean? That's annoying to me.
Oh, totally.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But it is a double standard.
So that was part 2 of our hair show. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
It's Real Talk with David and Nikki for hot topics, gossip, and a little shade on the 5x5. Check us out on Facebook at the 5x5 or tweet us at the 5x5 or go to Recycle Blog Talk for past shows. Thanks for tuning in.